It's recording.
Born ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Arena podcast, aka the WAPcast.
WAP.
Today, Frost and I are joined by pretty much the entire universe,
Yeah.
the entire digital space. We're doing a live recording on twitch.tv/Firas right now. Got about, like 15, 20,000 viewers right now, so all the boys are out. It's good.
Everyone's here. All of the SW community is in this stream right now.
As you can see, I'm recording live from New York after all the Canadian smoke has come down.
You're welcome.
For us, recording live from a serial killer's basement.
That's right.
And
got the sauce.
yeah, we got a lot going on in Summoner's War the past week or so.
Are you feeling reloaded?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
So we got announcements that we're getting our next big update, which is, what is it called? Summoner's War Reloaded. Major update. It's major, so it's gonna be big. You know it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your first thoughts on this? What's your initial this is what I think it's gonna be, and how you feeling?
I think the packs are reloaded, and that's
true. That.
That's really where my thought. Reloaded, packs are reloaded. That's it. The pack push is real right now, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because they're making such garbage events to push out packs. And somehow it's still working, because Comptos is still getting insane sales right now.
Moving a button, bro. They better not move that button again.
They're moving a button? Please don't.
I swear to God, if they move that power save button again, I'll freak out. But
on the cops.
So just for some context for anybody watching, if you haven't been playing Summoner's War all that long, we've had two of these major update events where they have names and stuff like that before. First one was Dimensional Hole a few years ago, and then 2 years ago it was Artifacts and B12.
Artifacts was actually 4 years ago, mind you.
It was definitely not 4 years ago, because I was streaming at the time, and I haven't been streaming for 4 years.
Artifacts came out in 2019.
No, they did not.
They did.
No, they didn't.
They did.
There's no way.
No, you do. You're in the fucking time capsule with fucking Ant-Man.
Absolutely not. 2019 they did not. No.
Is when Artifacts came out. I actually have chat here to back me up.
Nope. Chat, don't buy into this propaganda. But either way, it's... Historically, these major updates have been PvE related. So, assuming that it is a new PvE, how do you feel about that?
The only way they can introduce new PvE, and I've spoken about this with other high-ranked boyos as well, is that all the existing PvE needs to condense.
Yeah.
Such as R5 needs to be way more rewarding. We've mentioned before, all your grinds and gems should be minimum +1. That is the most minimum thing they can do to make R5 less of a pain. Is no matter what gem and grind I use, it always goes minimum +1. If they want to make it higher, they can make it higher, but that's a minimum. And then in terms from rune farming, I don't know how they can make it simpler other than just making farming it easier by reducing the boss's stats, but I don't think they're gonna do that. That's not even really a necessary thing, if you ask me. But I don't know how the newer players feel about it. But and then the R5 buff would trickle into Dimensional Hole for being less of a headache as well. So kind of helps with that, and maybe Dimensional stops dropping 5 stars, but I don't know if they'll ever want to do that. And all this other PvE shit, I don't know if he wants to be fucking. I don't know if he wants to expose himself, but he's not. But one of the people I spoke to, he said for all this essence farming to be obsolete. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But that needs to be obsolete, and arena towers needs to be obsolete. Just delete this. New players.
It is so weird.
This is so archaic. It's not even a joke. This needs to be gone for new players.
Yeah, 9 years into the game, it's about time that
this is
gets
a
going.
Horrible thing to grind, right? The game is grinding. Maybe some people enjoy that, but they need to eliminate towers, make farming easier for artifacts, and the the number one concern for new players shouldn't be towers. It should be runes and artifacts. So that needs to be gone. And then R5 should be not a mandatory. Like I said, we've multiple people who G3 up, just wasting our lives in R5
It's
until today.
unreal.
It's I shouldn't be wasting. Like I should be farming runes and artifacts, not R5 for a living. At this point of the game,
Yeah.
dude. Like
It's all I farm. Like I farm all day at work, and it's like, granted, it is the easiest thing to farm like while you're working because
Yeah.
it's so easy to see like what's a sell and what's a
Mhm.
keep. But like I do at least 9 to 10 hours a day every day for the past I don't even know how many years, and like you just feel like you're making zero progress.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Like, and I'm a hoarder when it comes to grinds. So like I
Everyone.
had ACOG
Look
I
at
had
this.
ACOG do a re-app session for me on despair runes, right? And we kept like 3 despair runes. And at the time I had like 74 despair speed grinds, like purples obviously. And just to get those 3 runes to have +4s, I burnt down to 35 grinds. I did 39 grinds worth of purples to get fucking 3 runes to have the +4 on them. Like, for me, obviously it doesn't matter. I still have 35 left. For a new player though, like, bro, you
Waste of
get like
time.
you get 1 grind and then you go and then you use it +3. Get another grind, go back to your rune storage, use it +3, and it's just such a bad feeling.
Like I'll show you a couple examples, very recent examples. So this one Swift rune I have, this is at a 10. I want at least an 11. I had
Yeah.
9 of these. I used 8 gems in a row to try to get an 11. I just ended
Yeah.
up with a 10. I'm like, whatever.
Oh,
Then I ended up
gems are the
using
worst.
all my HP grinds, which was I had 9 of them built up as well. All of them until I finally hit a 7.
Yep.
And it's not like it's broken if I get that extra 1%.
Yeah.
But I just
It's just like
wasted
artificial like time waste to like just get you to farm
time
more
and
and play
mana
more.
waste
But
is the maybe like mana waste for newer players, sure. For me, it was
yeah, it does rip through your mana as a
and
new player.
and then same with like my ancient grinds. Everyone loves talking about ancient grinds, but if we're talking about something like a PVE buff, I feel like we very only recently talked about the R5 thing, but like I have this one. I got this rune maybe a month ago now, and I can't get it past 4% HP for fuck's sakes
Yep.
on this grind. It's killing me. It's
Yep.
stupid, and it's not like once I hit 8 or a 9 on this, I have like the greatest feeling in the world. It's just like
Yeah, because on
fucking
ancient it can
fine.
go up to +12, but
Yeah,
the
sure.
range is 5 to 12.
Like imagine burning your legend to roll a 5. Like
5
this is
to
this
12.
if they're introducing new PVE, what this whole spiel is about is that they need to make everything
Yeah.
else a lot less painful to do, specifically R5. If it, and I don't know if we want to go even above and beyond here with what do you call it? This Steel Fortress. God damn, this dungeon's still an atrocity. I don't know if anyone's
Yeah.
figured out a better team for Steel Fortress yet.
Not
And
without
just
LDs.
not
There
without
are some
LDs.
LD comps that involve like Zarath and like Cadiz and stuff, but other than that, there's no way.
There's still no unit that does an S1 beneficial block.
Yeah.
No?
Well, no. There's several, and they all have like 50% activation rate
Ah, okay, never mind. Let's wait.
because they gave it to the espresso cookies or whatever,
Oh,
and
did they get it?
yeah,
Their
it's on their
S1?
S1, but it's a single
Oh,
hit with a 50% chance.
I don't even have leader skills. What the fuck? What are you supposed to
But
do?
yeah, it's getting ridiculous, and like I see so many like newer players' accounts, like people send us our builds, like what do you think of this build and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, you see the runes, then you have to ask them like, okay, well, what do those artifacts look like? And the artifacts are just an absolute abomination, and it's like I can't even blame these people. When the fuck are you supposed to farm artifacts?
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
you got to get a baseline of runes, and then once you have that baseline of runes, you have to get every single last one of them grinded.
Yeah.
So when the fuck are you gonna farm artifacts?
I know. This is why, like, like we're talking in the player, like a new, like, or sorry, a veteran player is like it's
We
gonna
already had a
suck.
lot of that work done when artifacts came out, so it's
Yeah,
not fair.
like I
Like,
haven't gotten a new rune in a long time because I don't farm runes, right? I'm living in R5, and I imagine a lot of veteran players are also in that spot. Like these runes, I did this for the event. I've been farming runes for events. But it's not like I kept anything.
yeah,
But
I can't lie. I've been getting like a 23 speed rune every day for the
yeah, I
past
saw
2 weeks
you've been
for
fucking
some
sharing
reason.
23 dumper rune for the last month every day. I don't know how you're farming runes right now. I don't know how you can afford it.
uh,
But what we're getting at is like, so then if a new dungeon does come out and they change nothing, we're gonna complain about it because we still need to do everything else. Like I still need to do
yeah,
artifacts. I have artifacts. I need more artifacts. I need more
yeah.
grinds. I don't really
Especially when
like.
you
I
pull a
need more
new
runes.
unit and it's like now you're looking for something like for me with Talisman, I'm looking specifically for attack increasing effect. Bro,
Yeah,
that stat is like such a wide range. You can like double roll and end up with like 4%. It's
yeah.
like so it's like an endless grind to try to find a good artifact with fucking attack up effect.
Yeah, and I don't even know how they could adjust art. Like I do. I know people are saying this. Even when I was in the Korea meetup, or well, it wasn't the meetup, but I was in Korea back in November of last year, and they were talking about adjusting artifacts. And I don't know if this is going to be part of it, where they make it either easier to get the stats that you need, or they're going to just nerf additionals. I don't know. Nobody really knows for sure.
That see that would just make it so much worse.
It would. And like
Because
I don't know
go
what
ahead.
they could do. No, I was saying like if they make it easier to farm, then it's fine. But they can't heavily nerf additions if that's what they're doing. I don't know. I don't even know if they
Yeah.
need to do it. I don't feel like they need to so
Because
much.
like the issue is like right now one of the best parts about artifacts is that all four of the additional damage lines are actually pretty good lines to have on your rune and maybe roll into. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it actually if additionals became like niche and sucked, it would just be so hard to find a perfect artifact because you still have those four substats and like you'll randomly get like an additional by HP line and you'll be like, well, additionals suck now, and I'm not putting it on like a unit that I'm fully going onto CP onto additionals with. So it's like now your artifacts are just like even more invalidated and you have to go find even more specific artifacts. It's like right now you can mix and match. You can have like a Ganymede that has S3 accuracy and then additionals. But if you if additionals suck, then you're probably going to be like, well, now the optimal Gany artifact is probably S3 accuracy, S1 accuracy, and probably like defense proportional to lost HP and stuff like that. You know, it's like it becomes way more specific.
I'm like
So
I'm going through the lines right now. Like and I don't know what if they're like intending to delete something. Like S4 crit damage is a meme. Or they're not. Counterattack is a bit of a meme. Because not there's still not that many that
well, I
like
would
it's
like to see the
utilized, but
niche ones, like those ones, those niche ones, like bomb damage, co-op, counterattack.
higher.
Like make that shit roll like 4 or 5, and
Yeah.
that's it. Just 4 to 5.
I don't even know
Like, do
why they
not give me
haven't
a
done this one, single target crit damage on your
can roll
turn.
so low.
It's so like even if it rolls 4 4 4 4 4, it's still horrible.
Well, it's
That's
really good on the left side. It's like the only thing. It's like the only form of like crit damage you can
no, but I'm
really.
saying it's good, but it needs to be higher. Like 4 4 4 4 4 is kind of like
Yeah.
it.
And like I think those lines shouldn't be on the right side. It's kind of stupid. It's like I can already get crit damage on my most important skill. Like
Well,
I can
if they want to
specifically
double it,
get
like I don't between having more or less single target and then whatever applicable skill crit damage,
yeah.
it's 2 to
Because
4.
it's just tough. It's like especially too like whenever you get one of these artifacts and like it has bomb damage, like you roll it, you waste the mana, you roll it, and then you see it go fucking 3 3 2 or whatever the hell its range is, and then you're like, okay, sell, goodbye mana,
What if
and it's
here?
like it's for such a dumb stat that barely gets used.
What if they removed roll ranges from artifacts. So just keep it stagnant every
Well,
time.
they should do it on the bullshit subs, like the counterattack of the like. You can't just have every damage dealt be a 5. Like that would be fucking
I
insane.
want it. Or make it a
Every
4.
quad is an automatic 30. Like holy
Juicer.
shit!
Juicer. But then that alleviates artifact farming, doesn't it?
It definitely well no. I mean, we would all be on like a mad chase to get our
Or if
our
we do it,
30s and our
okay, what if we only made
25s.
it 2 rolls? There's like only 2 options per stat
I
line.
think they've done a good job on the crit damage accuracy, recovery, damage received, and damage dealt. I think it's all those other useless ones that are fucking it up, like defense proportional to lost HP,
Yeah.
counterattack damage. Like those need to just have like if this is going to be on the artifact, it needs to be a meaningful roll. It can't fucking nobody. What's that artifact you just looked at? Had 3% defense proportional to lost HP. That must be an old one, right?
That's a super
But-
old one, but it had a good quad.
But still, it's like it still can roll pretty fucking low. I think it's like 10 to 14, maybe. Can you find one?
10 to for defense to lost HP or
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, it's 9 to 14.
9 to 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
It's abysmal.
like ones like that should be like, it's 15%. That's it. If you ever hit this
That's
substat,
true,
you get
actually,
15.
yeah.
Period.
If you, like just getting getting a quad speed to lost HP, even actually a quad attack to lost HP is pretty good on certain units, but
Can
it's
be,
hard
yeah.
to chase, and
Yeah.
like would it really alleviate though? Like you still, if you roll a quad into it, like I do chase for a quad. I actually pretty much I roll every
I mean,
single purple.
yeah, I mean, I
artifact
roll
that's
those
dropped.
too, and I just see what happens. But
Yeah, because any triple, and this thing about like artifacts, and like, or something Ziggy was saying earlier, you don't know what you're gonna pull that will need a certain artifact mix of stats. So no matter
Right.
what, I roll everything. If it rolls efficient enough, I just sit on it. That's why my artifacts are
yeah, but then
pretty-
also we don't have that much artifact storage,
That's
so
the
you can
other-
only do that just to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like,
But then
you're
you get to
eventually
a
gonna
point
run
where
out of
like you
room.
start filtering. Oh, let me look my water dealt on darks.
yeah,
I
and you
go
ditch all
through
the
it,
lowest ones. Yeah.
and then this is actually kind of shit. Then you just dump it
Yep.
and see if its main status garbage. And you start kind of filtering. But you need artifact farming. You need to have a lot of baseline before you start getting picky with them. I don't even think I have a good enough baseline yet. That's why I still need to farm artifacts. I still need to farm R5. And then most likely I need to farm whatever new dungeon comes out. I need to do my daily dimensional farming as well. And
Yeah.
and I still need roots. I still need everything.
Yeah. No, it's so difficult. And like, to go back to this update too. So,
Mhm.
I really don't understand this. Like, I was trying to like figure out as much about this artifact as I could, or this update as I could before like we did the pod. Just like,
It's
man,
hard.
like what's like our actual most logical guess at like what this could be? But like, I don't get the verbiage. Like, reloaded, like that. It's like the weirdest verbiage for like an update. Like, what does that even mean? Like, if you look up the definition of reloaded, it's to load something
Mhm.
that has been fired again. Like,
So-
how is I don't understand. Like, if this said revamped,
Wait.
refreshed, revigorated, forget like there's so many other words, but like reloaded in the context of a video game, it's kind of weird verbiage. I don't get what this is
Hold
supposed
on.
to mean.
What's something they removed from the game that they could bring back?
2v2.
Okay, that's not removed. That's just sitting in beta for the last 8 years. Okay. Well, I think, all right, they're bringing back old stat lines from artifacts that they removed. They removed them. Now they're gonna bring them back. It's reloaded. Reloaded artifact stat lines. That's the big.
That monster. I was thinking about that too, Glory. I think it's a boss because it
That's
has a
it.
boss tower next to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. It has like the 2 towers. There's one at the bottom. You can see
Yep.
it. Also, bottom right, top left. It's a new boss.
I think it's new. Well, yeah, that's what we were just talking. I know you just got it. That's what we were just talking about. That's what we think it is too. But we're not thrilled with that.
No.
If that is the
Well, it could be thrilling if they
But
make.
also, how does the word reloaded tie into new PvE content?
I think there's also going to be new, or they're going to redo some. I hope they're redoing some mechanics, like the way with maybe Vio and Despair work. I don't know. I don't even have an idea how they could do that.
Mixed-level. The crit bug is being brought back. They're reloading the crit bug back into the game.
We love that's how
Hell yeah.
they fix crit rate, right? There you
That's
go.
true.
Crit rate's been a problem. Everybody wants grindable crit rate. We forgot to talk about that while talking about R5. That could be it's actually a big thing if they make grindable crit rate, by the way. I don't know. And then if it maybe, like I said, maybe a little bit of change to Vio and Despair. I don't know. That maybe
Yeah.
a change to Siege. Like maybe they're just doing a whole bunch of changes everywhere that makes it
Because,
reloaded.
like, yeah, I mean, Comptos isn't known for their, like, ability to, like type things out correctly. So like
Yeah.
this word reloaded could just be like something that they punch into Google Translate, and it actually has like the word reloaded is just like the worst possible word for it.
Rosai.
It makes it seem like this update is going to be an update of old content, like reloaded content. Like
Which could be fine. Because,
that
like I
could be
said,
great. I'd rather that than
yeah.
new PvE shit to farm.
Like, hold on. Let me double check something here. Because, like, we're. Oh, Solid Heroes since when? Let's say drop info on these guys. What could they. So, runes, symbols. Oh, these don't drop unknowns anymore?
No.
So, I don't even know what they could do here still. Eliminate
What?
blues? Like, I'm
Well,
trying to.
what if? Wait, what if like rune farming? Like, what if they recondensed like the rune farming and were like, listen, fuck guard runes, fuck energy runes. Like, here's your dungeon. It's really fucking hard. It's gonna be slow runs, but it's gonna have Swift, Vio, Despair, Will,
No, that's not.
Nem,
No.
like the good ones. And it's like this is your one-stop shop for rune farming, but it's gonna be slow. But we also trimmed out the Assery runes.
Okay, hold on. If they do a new rune set, then what you're saying is very likely. Because there's no way they can introduce a new rune set
Throw it
and
into dragons or something.
wait, what? RD stages 11 and 12. I could actually see that coming too. That wouldn't surprise me. But
Bro, Steel Fortress 12 gives me nightmares. I think about that daily. That lives rent free in my head. There's no way.
just the nightmare of farming Steel Fortress 12 keeps you up at night. Is that then this reloaded announcement came up and you're just sweating at night because you fucking.
Yep. Just waking up with night terrors. Watching the boss resist buff block fucking 4 times in a row.
God damn it. And then you're at work and then you left your 10 run and you failed on the first run. Oh, man. 20 minutes later, you look at you failed on the first run.
Yep.
That's what Steel Fortress 12 is.
Imagine server resets. See, like,
Oh,
that's
would
that
be
is
cool.
what the word reloaded insinuates, though. But I just don't think they use the right word for what they're actually planning on doing.
Okay, hold on. Would you go to global if they allowed that again? I think we spoke about this before, but I don't remember. Would you go to global
If they
one
allowed
day?
me to switch,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. Then we're going together.
What would we do though if they started classic servers? So like we play the original version of Summoner's War on a fresh server that's not connected to these servers.
Mm-hmm.
Would you play?
But what was that? What would that benefit? I maybe you need to explain what a classic server means, though.
Like classic World of Warcraft is just like you play World of Warcraft without any of the expansions that have come out over the years. You start fresh and you're playing the original version of the game. Like every balance patch that we've had, gone. Every
Ooh.
like, but they could leave like the content updates. They could leave like RTA could still be a thing. Necro could still be a dungeon. Like they could leave that stuff, but like everybody's on a fresh server, fresh accounts. That'd be kind of sick. I would definitely play it on the side for sure.
I don't think I would touch it. I don't have time for fucking new game mode.
I'd be too tempted to spend though, so maybe I wouldn't
No, just don't spend.
spend on a classic server. Because then like guys who just have like more money than they know what to do with, that are just like looking for something to spend on once they've cleared out this shop, they would just like free to play only servers. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't want to even imagine free to play servers.
It doesn't really behoove Con to us to do that, but it would be cool.
What if it becomes more fun in the free to play world, and then nobody spends anymore?
Yeah, I know, right? Huge reloaded 2A. That's what. Okay, that's. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I keep seeing all these comments and stuff in Twitch chat of everyone like, when are new 2As? When are new 2As? Can they please just do like a max exodus where they just fix all of the existing ones? They're so ass. Like, why do we need new ones?
Let me see. Well, we still need some new ones, or it's been too long without a new family.
But like, what? They're gonna 2A a new family with 97 base speed, and then we'll never touch any of those 10 unless they have like niche PvE usage.
Yeah, that is a problem. Like they could easily increase the base speed of some of the during 2A, like the Reapers, for example. Obviously need a base speed buff. They're never gonna be touched. Otherwise,
like, dude, so many like these all need. There's not a single one of these families that doesn't have a unit that needs to be like overhauled. It's just a joke.
Another thing they should probably do. This is another. Well, I know they also, when I was in Korea back in November, they also said that they're aware of the issue of dimensional. It's just like nobody leaves basically Alunia. Between Alunia and
Coleman, they balance that so poorly.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter that they released a new rune set. Like Revenge is desirable, fight runes are even desirable for certain people. But they released Cycleon last year, like probably the coolest looking dungeon they released, and nobody farms it. The reason is because they already invested in everything else. So if they don't condense this the crafting materials to all be the exact same, and then people decide which rune they want to maybe craft, aside from that, that would be a really good fix, I think. So all of these condense out. Like there's no differentiation of stones anymore, or rune ores, I guess they call it. All these rune ores become one, and you can still have it separated like this. That could be a big thing they could do, but then
they need to better distribute these runes though. Like it's like Alunia has 3 good sets.
Yeah.
But then Calderon has the best set. Yeah. And then Sacrion has like a decent mix, but you give up the will from Alunia. It's like, I don't know. It's just, and it's such a pain in the ass too when it's like you see that the Dimension Predator is in like Karazhan, and you're like, I don't even care. Like if I get a fucking rune from it, what am I gonna do with it?
This is an atrocious fucking.
You're not gonna have any grinds for it. I mean, I guess if you farm Alunia, then you take the Nem and you hope that hits, and then maybe you have Nem grinds, but it's like such a pain in the ass.
Are ancient runes good? No shit, they're good, but you can't also have something that's super good and then impossible to get, like grinded and usable. And okay, but Peller, if you do roll a rage rune and then you gotta go start farming it for grinds, it's a shitty trap.
I actually have a sick ancient rage rune that has not a single grind on it. Probably never will.
I'm trying to remember if I even have.
But there's this, it's just such a big issue. And like the other thing too, it's like when they make new dungeons, there's like this huge like it's almost just like they wasted their time, because who the hell is going to start fresh in 2023 building up ancient grinds for a set? Like you can't fucking start over. You have to stay where you've already built up all your grinds and stuff. For
You can.
ancients, make them immemorial. See, what I wish is that you should be able to use regular grinds
Yeah.
on an ancient rune should you
Yes.
so choose to. There's no
Yes.
reason to
That's
not allow
that's
that.
all they need to do. It's a very
Yep.
and that's likely to see in this fucking patch. Like it would be such a huge fix if like my idea with the ores, the rune ores condense into one. All of them condense into one so people can actually go and farm whatever they want and not feel guilty for ever changing their dungeon. Like if somebody
Yeah.
wants ancient revenge runes all of a sudden, but they
I would love ancient revenge runes, but I'm not going in there.
no, and I know some people that really want fight runes. I
Yeah.
like it would be pretty good. And then I can just use regular grinds. Like,
Yep.
we're not even spouting original ideas right now. A lot of people have echoed this throughout who knows
Yeah.
fucking how long.
This is probably the seventh or eighth time we've even mentioned it on this
Yeah,
podcast, but it still just hasn't happened, and it
yeah.
makes no sense.
Like I have a revenge rune. I accidentally got when the new dungeon came out. This revenge rune.
Give
Uh,
raid for ancient runes.
I accidentally got this
Ooh.
quad from I crafted with whatever. So I was farming whatever came out of Sacrion, for whatever 2A came out, and then I crafted the runes. I rolled a quad revenge rune. This is from crafting. So then I had to
Yep.
start farming Sacrion to get a full. Actually, and this what's funny about this is I dropped 3 revenge speed ones. All 3 of them rolled a 3, and then I just gave up farming it. And then Dimensional Predator came out, gave me a revenge purple, and I rolled a 4 off of that by chance. And I
Yep.
can't and I would love if I could use my collection of revenge runes. I have like 3 or 4 legend speed grinds that I would love to just dump into this. Obviously,
Yep.
I want this out of 5, and I can't do it. And it makes R5 higher value. And if they do the combination of that you always get minimum +1, R5 becomes less of a headache. You fix dimensional runes, and people would want to start farming new dungeons again instead of living in Alunia for the last 8 years. How many years is it?
At least 4,
I
right?
think it's
At
past
least. Probably 5, though.
probably 5 or 6 years of 2 ways being
Not
there.
6. Bro, you
I
are
don't know.
way overestimating
Look,
how
okay,
long
five,
ago
five,
these things.
five.
6 years?
Forgive.
Like 2017? No way.
Back in my day, the 2A came out. Yeah, well, like all that's worth calling reloaded, if you ask me, because they can't introduce new PVE without fixing current PVE. It's just not a realistic.
Yeah.
It just can't.
Well,
I don't see it working. How does it
uh,
work?
Arkavali has a good idea, though, where it's like. Well, I don't know if it's like the correct way for them to do it, but it's what I could see them actually doing, which is like basically just taking the grinds out of these regular runs of Alunia and whatever, and just putting it into a dimensional hole R5. So now you go in if you want grinds specifically, then you go spend your dimensional hole energy in the dimensional R5. If you want runes specifically, then you spend it in the dungeon.
But using what energy?
Dimensional hole energy, I would think.
Oh no, that shit's
Like,
so
but
rare.
it's. I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm saying I could definitely see that potentially being what they are thinking.
I don't like it. It has I'm voting against it right now.
Yeah,
I'm voting.
but it does semi solve the issue we were just talking about, where it's like you don't want to stop grinding. You don't want to stop looking for your will grinds, so that you can try to find a revenge grind from a different dungeon.
Yeah,
You would just go into the R5, maybe get the revenge, maybe get the will, and then you're kind of like, I don't know, man. It's
that's still
the
putting
system's
too
so
much
bad
value.
as is. It's like the
Just
number of fixes it needs
no.
is insane.
Just let us use regular grinds on ancient runes. That's it. That's not asking for too much. That's not
I
making
know.
it broken. Because you would still want ancient grinds to go above and beyond, so to
Yeah,
speak,
of course.
on those grinds.
That's still the point of an ancient rune in
Yeah,
general.
if they do. Genesis though, if they do let us use regular grinds though, your grind storage is gonna go down quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
You
big
got to
time.
remember, a lot of people have ridiculous numbers in their grind storage because they're saving a lot of legends that
All
they
ancients.
right. So how many runes? Look at your rune collection. How many do you have them sitting at an 8? And you want to grind it more, but you're in this conundrum where like I have this one really good rune at a 7, and I have this current rune at an 8. Either I'm gonna gamble that this extremely rare drop. Uh, we can't hear Zig in the VOD. Yeah, in the VOD it's okay because we're recording outside of it, Peller. Okay, Zig is but you sit in this spot where I have this ancient grind. I can either gamble it on trying to get higher than an 8, or I'm just gonna use it on the 7, hopefully get higher than 7. Then that rolls out an 8, and then now you're stuck in the same thing. Do I try to max grind this rune again, which never drops? It drops once every 3 to 4 months, or am I gonna just save it for the next rune I get? And you're stuck in this garbage cycle. I know some people luck sack their grinds and gems, so they hitting 11s and 10s left and right, but not everyone's in that boat. Other than
Yeah.
speed, other than dumping speed constantly on a rune, the grinds are more held back when somebody rolls an 8 and they just settle at an 8 or a 9. They won't push for a 10 if it's not guaranteed.
Yep.
9 to 2. That's I know, like, and how
I know
long you're
that's what we all do, but
you're
it
just gonna
sucks.
sit on it. Like there's so many runes I would love like at the max percent, and I can't. Like either I chase it, let's say for example, well this one like I dump like on those off runes. Like I've been trying to chase a 5 on this, but like even this, I would love for this to like I don't want to use it.
Yeah.
I'd literally just throw this away, and if
And
I
I wouldn't use that on
right,
there.
like I can't. Like it's I would love it at a 10. If you told me right now, I'm gonna go, you get a guaranteed 10, I'll blow this right now. But I have other will runes that because I'm crafting will runes from when I farm. It's part of my crafting. Uh, what's it called? Like what I do is I craft will runes, and if I get a rune, I want to be able to immediately grind it. Whether or not it rolls 10 is irrelevant, but I want to be able to use that rune right away, and I can't use my one my one attack percent. So people sit on this shit for that
Yeah.
reason.
But Akavali, to your point, with the like, even if you roll a 5, you still want a 6. The conundrum right now, though, is like, so for me, if let's say I get a legend speed grind for Swift, right?
Hmm.
I want to put it on this rune because I really want this rune to have a +6.
Yeah.
But I have runes over here, like this has a +4. So do I use it on this for a better chance at a 5 to make this a 28? Or do I go all out for the 6
Hmm.
to make this a third? It's like, it's so difficult. But if I could use regular grinds, then I would regular grind this to 5 and then put my legends into this chasing the 6. You know what I mean? But as of right now, if I actually do manage to get a legend grind, it's like, well, fuck, where do I put it? Do I put it on a 23 that it's almost guaranteed to upgrade, or do I put it on my biggest rune and just fucking and just go for broke? It's too difficult. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter because like I'm never gonna roll a 6. I never have, and I never will. So it
I,
doesn't.
like, and I got super lucky. Like in that same situation, I'm gonna. I've shown this rune multiple times, but it's like the best example rune. This rune was sitting at a +4 for the longest time. I got this ancient will rune very early when dimensional came out, and I only ever dropped one ancient will grind, and I gambled to get this up, right? And this like for sorry
So
will,
lucky.
and I got super lucky. Right, and I want this to be at a 12. I didn't even waste my time trying to chase this into a 12. I wanted this at a 12. I didn't even bother wasting because I did get more grinds after that fact to try to get these to 12, but you can't gamble it, right? But
I've
nobody
had the opposite luck. I've had crazy drop luck. I've had 5 Legend Swift speed grinds, and this dungeon hasn't even been out as long. And I've put all of them into this and no 6 yet. But
and you
my
can't
drop rate's been crazy, but my roll rate's been awful. So it's like,
that's
either way, it's miserable. Either you just never fucking find the grind, or you finally find the grind, and then you get nothing out of it.
Do you think regular, like even if they did just immemorials to work on ancients, that's
It's better
still,
than nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because these where is it? These are pretty good packs. This, if you just,
Yeah.
these are actually insane value
Those are
for
my favorite.
five USD or 7 Canadian. This is actually an insane pack. For like grinding your ancients, if it becomes something like that, this is dirt cheap to make your ancient runes really good. If you don't already
Yeah.
have a storage of immemorials, if that's the middle ground, great, do it, because you can't keep this model of dimensional farming, and then you're gonna also introduce another dungeon on top of that. Whether it's in dimensional hole or outside of it, it doesn't matter. You can't add.
Yeah.
The whole point of this discussion is you can't add more PVE and have existing PVE become, or existing PVE currently as it is being
Stay
a,
trash. Yeah.
yeah, it's
And stay so time consuming.
time consuming is
Okay.
the big thing.
So we can pop over to the next topic. So we just got our next wave of events announced.
Surprisingly,
Yeah. So we are getting the rune event back, where you get to +6 a rune, and I have always hated that these runes or this events exist, but
but you're a sack.
well, I wasn't until the very last one. Like up until that, I had never kept a rune from one. But I always just I don't like these because it's like ACOG and I were talking about this
Mm-hmm.
as well when they first announced this, and it's like you basically have a 1 in 16 to get a quad, right? And a quad is technically, like, just probability wise, it's significantly more rare than an LD5. So
Yeah.
like if you took that logic and was like, okay, well, this thing that's significantly more rare than an LD5 is you're getting a 1 in 16 chance at it. What would the community's reaction be if there was an event that was a 1 in 16 chance at an LD5? And the answer to that is 15 out of 16 people are gonna fucking quit, right?
Kind of.
Like, yeah, like no one's gonna see their friend get Veronica and they get fucking
Jara.
a Nat 4.
Yeah.
You're right, they're
Or
not
not
equal.
four.
In many, many cases, the quad is far more valuable. You are 100% right, Recon. They are not equal. And it's in the opposite way of what you're insinuating.
You can farm more
But
runes though than LD scrolls. That still doesn't change the fact that a quad speed.
well, hold on though. It's not just you can farm a rune. Yes, you can farm runes infinitely, but in order to get a quad, it's going to have to be a 6-star legend with a speed substat on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like every rune that comes out that spits out of your dragon's run has a chance to be a quad. Would you take a Veronica or a 20 speed rune? I would take a Veronica, Recon. Do you want to know what I wouldn't take? Lydia.
We love Lydia.
I would take a 27 speed rune.
Poor Lydia, always catching flack.
But it's like but just saying, just probability wise, like you're getting a 1 in 16 at something that's more rare than an LD5. So 15 out of 16 people are just gonna have, or they're just gonna get jack shit.
Yeah.
And that 1 out of the 16 is just gonna get this massive advantage that they did absolutely nothing to deserve. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I just think the game would be better off without these events. Like,
Well, and they made it seem like they're not even doing this event because normally we get this.
they
event.
didn't do it last year, right? They didn't do +6.
No. Not last year. They did do this. What do you mean? Last year they did this last event, which was just a 9-year event for global, not global. Sorry.
What was the event where we got to pick like 4 runes, but we didn't get to +6 them? That was like 6 months ago, right?
No, that was 2 months ago. That's in this event right here.
No, not that one. Not that one. I'm talking about the one where we got to actually pick its main stat, pick its slot,
Oh, that
roll
one.
it.
There was that one, yeah.
We
But
just
that
had
was
that.
that was like in December, if I recall correctly.
Right, and like the assumption was like, oh, this is their new method. They realized +6
Yeah.
is fucking absurd.
Yeah, and
But now
same
this is
with,
back.
and then same again what they did with the, was it the coin shop event or the one before this one, where they let you? I think it's in this one. It was in this one.
Right, but Jalen, the majority of the LDs are not good LDs.
Yeah, this rune
The,
shop, right?
a quad speed rune is a good rune. An LD5 is not necessarily a good LD5. Like, I don't understand
No,
where the
Joanne.
confusion is coming from. If you get a quad on this event, you're getting a minimum of a 26 speed rune. A minimum.
Which is very juicy
That
for.
is always going to be a good rune, period. An LD5 is not always a good LD5. You can pull Lydia Grogan, Wedgeot, and Talisman. Like, they're not always good.
That's the a quad speed on the slot that you choose is
Yep.
always good.
The set you choose,
The
the
set,
main
that's what I
stat you
mean.
choose,
This
fucking the slot,
you
everything.
you choose even the other subs with that rune. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we thought that
Are not good
they
quads from this event. It's automatically a perfect quad. What do you mean? You get the perfect three other substats. You
yes.
get the perfect everything.
The innate, I don't know if the innate's always like the innate is less
Well, no,
relevant. You only
you
care for
don't get an innate
innates.
for this.
Yeah. But if the innate was a factor, like it wasn't like December, they let you choose the innate. I think it was,
Yep.
I swear it was December. They let you choose those
It
four
wasn't
runes.
that long. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
yeah, it's about what I said 6 months ago. Yeah, I think that's when it was.
But the main thing about the innate is that so you have a chance to re-up it. Yes, it's better to have an AC innate or whatever other innate for an additional stat line on your unit. But the number one thing about innates is that you have a re-up target. Aside from that, if you had the chance to always choose your subs, you can just kind of choose the accuracy. Not that you would rather have a quad grindable, sure, but having
Yeah,
that, having the option to have your four stats decided, have a minimum plus 18, and then have that 1 in 16 chance to get a quad is super good. And that trumps having an innate on top of that. It's a
yeah,
non-factor. The innate is what I'm getting at.
but yeah, and like either way, like Slowbro saying that it benefits the newer players more. I don't think
Sure.
it does. I don't think it does. I think you're less impacted by one rune. I think I'm more impacted by the fact that I can target out my slowest slot
Hmm.
and have a 1 in 16 at fucking banging on a quad on it. Like,
Like I'll tell you right now. Let me show you. Actually, using my Ethna as an example, right? Let's say I sack this. So what my goal is actually, and this is what I'm actually going to do for this 6-star event. So assuming I want to do Prime Ethna again, my only slot that I'm missing to do an insane set on her is the slot 6. So I'm going to now target a slot 6 attack percent. So right now, I can do, the best I can do is this, a 21. That gives me 20. If I can luck sack at least a 22,
yeah,
and then it's also going to have all the other subs that I want,
yeah,
I
the perfect
right?
subs. Yeah,
I can, like, based on my other runes, I say, you know what, I really want in a swift attack slot 6 to get at least a high triple or a quad, even if it's a low quad. I now have a 220 whatever Ethna. It's a 1 in 16 chance. This is the highest chance I will ever
yeah.
get in getting a quad for my Ethna slot 6. Or
And if you're a new player
what, okay,
and
hold on.
let's say you get the quad, you still have five other runes to finish that set off. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's way better for people who can target their weakest slot. Like, I'm not going to, but
Mhm.
my weakest slot is slot 3. I'm not gonna take a slot 3,
I've
but
done
I
that
could
before.
technically go for slot 3.
Yeah.
And if I got a quad, I basically have the peak Swift set. Like, I would be missing like 3 speed off of the actual fastest that a Swift set can be.
But other part of what was I saying? I was
But
gonna say
I'm
the
not
other
going.
part of
We're not
this.
taking slot 3s. Don't take a slot 3. Anybody who's watching, don't take slot 3.
No, always do 4 6s. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
this is what. So, what's a higher chance for me to get? Is a higher chance for me in this event to get a for my 1 in 16 chance for a quad, or if I buy reapps? How many reapps do I need to equate to 1 in 16 chance? of re-ups? How many
I've done
re-ups?
this math. I've done this math before. For one, it depends on the slot. But if you're talking like slot
Us-
6 with an innate,
yeah,
I think it's like 1 in 300 reaps or something like that.
there you go.
I think.
There,
Because you have to first. I just can't remember. I can't remember how many substats are available on a slot 6 with an innate. I just don't remember. Um, but it's something in the ballpark of 1 in 300 reaps to get speed to show up on your rune and then hit it 4 times.
but aside from
Or three
that,
times.
that
Or
being
4 times,
said,
yeah.
it is only a 1 in 16 chance, right?
Yeah.
So, but this
Yeah.
is why you should always
But
choose
you also
a
have a
2
1 in
4.
4 at a fucking triple. That's incredible.
Yeah, but then this is what I'm getting at though, is that regardless of what slot you choose, or sorry, what rune set you choose, this is why it's important to always do a 2-6. And some people can do a slot 2 if you're chasing accuracy or crit rate. For like if you're trying to get a triple crit or a triple accuracy,
Yeah.
uh,
So you have a 43% chance to get a triple
which is
on the
pretty
stat
good.
that you're looking for. Yeah.
But that's why you need to fail safe your decision between a 2-4-6. If you're doing a 2, it has to be speed, and you have to be chasing accuracy or crit rate. Don't chase any other stat in a slot 2. You don't need a quad HP. It's cool if you roll it, but it's not something you chase for in an event like this. You chase accuracy and crit rate for your slot 2, doesn't matter what the set is. Or you chase your 4-6, it doesn't even matter what that is. And a fail safe is that you have a 18 speed rune with 2 other juice rolls. Now, when it comes to Swift, you can end up with a rune like this, which is sometimes a feel bad, but I've been using it a little more than before. This guy. This rune was one of these events where I tried to get a quad or even a high triple. I ended up rolling high triples after this. I ended up getting a double attack roll. This is a shitty fail safe, but there's worse rune. Like if this was a Vio or a Will rune at a much higher usage rate than it is on Swift. But even though this event is broken, use it appropriately or do it the right way where you have a fail safe.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I'm getting at.
And the other thing too, like last year I got the 30 speed from the event, and so did
You
Obabo.
got you
That's
got 2. Shut up. You
but
got
no,
2.
I know, but I'm just saying the odds at a 30 speed from the event is 0.7%. Like that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's better than an LD5. That's your chance at a 30 speed rune. That's you're never gonna get like it's almost 1%. Like seven
Which is pretty
tenths of a
good.
human being out of every 100 human beings is gonna end up with a 30 speed rune. Like that's insane. It's not fair. Like it's literally just not fair for the rest of the people who don't land it.
But it makes it a little more exciting. Unless you call Skull Scribbles a sack. But same with Obabo. But like
Like
imagine like this is the kind of like Obabo gets another 30 speed rune out of this event. What stops him? Like fuck me. It's kind of
and like
nuts.
the other thing too, I kept someone was arguing a bunch in ACOG's chat the other day when they announced this event. He's like, well, it's all RNG. It's the same thing. Like you can run a Dragon's Run, and you can get a quad out of your Dragon's Run, and I could run a Dragon's Run and not get a quad. And it's like, okay, but Dragons is infinite. Like if you fail to get a quad out of your Dragon's Run, you do another Dragon's Run, right? And you can do that infinitely. This event, you get 2 cracks at it. And if you brick twice and somebody else lands on 1 or even lands on 2, there's almost no coming back from that gap.
Pretty much.
So it's like I don't know what the fix is. It's like do they have to do like if this event is going to exist, do they have to do it more often? Cuz it's like once a year. Bro, you're never catching up. If
Sometimes
I get
twice a
another
year. Well, again,
what?
I was saying sometimes twice a year. But again,
Yeah, but
we
they
also
had
thought this was
stopped
done.
doing that.
Yeah, I actually thought this event was never coming back again because they actually realized how cracked it is for. like I meant all the Guardian players. How many people are in Guardian? 3,000 people. So 0.7% of 3,000 is like
Still
not
a good amount. It's
still a
still
very good
almost
amount,
300. It's almost 300 people.
right? Three no, is it
Yeah.
300?
Oh, it's
A little bit
210
less.
people.
There you go. 210. 210 Guardian players will get a quad. That's not
No,
no.
no, that's the odds for a
Sorry.
30.
Sorry, that's the odd for a 30. Yes. I'm at well, it's not is it like even 29. Even let's say point 0.7 is even just for a 29. That's insane. Of Guardian players that get that. That's 200 people, over 200
Well,
people
actually,
that gated you while you were sitting with your plus
well,
18.
actually, hold on. It's more than that. It's technically 420 of them because everybody's gonna get two runes.
Yes, sir.
That's just your odds that you pull one singular rune out and it lands 30. But everybody's gonna get two chances at that. So basically 420 30 speed runes on average are going to get rolled in Guardian from this event. Wait. Oh,
2.1.
oh, oh, oh. Wait, hold on.
You guys are getting quads? Yes, Jay.
Sorry. 42. 42. No, your secret is right that my math was wrong, but his math was even further off. But yeah,
Fucking accountants, dude.
but yeah, no.
This is why
42.
Google.
42 30 speed runes on average. No, it's 21
21.
secret. You have an extra zero in there.
21. Um okay, that's and then the 1 in 16 is what's the percentage on that? Tell me right now, Zig. You're the math man. You're starting to let me down though. That's
Six and a quarter%.
so you put the
So 6,000 runes are going to be rolled in Guardian, right?
and then
So
187
0.0625.
187 Guardian players will have a quad
Well,
ranging
no,
between.
times two because you did it.
Oh
Everybody
right,
gets two. Everybody
that's
gets
right,
two
that's right,
runes.
that's right, that's right. So that's
So
going to be 300,
roughly 375.
375 Guardian players are going to get a quad between the ranges of 26 and 30. And whether or
Well,
not that's you, eat ass.
well, that's 375 quad runes are going to get rolled,
Yeah,
but one person can take two of them,
that
like
too.
me.
Like Ziggy
So
did last. Like, did you show your two? You gigasack?
I showed the 30, but my
Yeah,
other event rune was
also a 30.
this
Wasn't it a 30?
29.
Oh, it was a 29. Forgive me. It wasn't a 30. It was only a 29.
But the real key, if anybody's wondering, the real key, if you roll a Swift rune from this event,
Yeah,
always take it with one dead stat.
clearly.
Trust.
Yeah, that's Ziggy's advice. See, Ziggy sacked this event and he's still against it. Like, if I don't know,
I
maybe
was
just
against it from the very first time they ever ran it because it's like I was already faster than the majority of people before these events happened. And then it just became an arms race to be like, you better fucking hit on this event, or every single person that you've built up over years to be faster than is just gonna fucking catapult past you. So it's like, I just hate these events. I hate them. I wish the one where I got the 30 and the 29 never happened, because just there's like we just did the math on, 42 other 30s would have been rolled in Guardian as well, and so you
there
don't
is
really make
Joe.
that much progress. Like,
There is Joe, and there's still a lot of people. Not a lot. Like, if somebody says Ziggy is top 10, I believe it. I think there's still a few people faster than Ziggy in terms of he's been
well,
outsmarted.
there's that guy on Reddit. No, Zex isn't. My Zabala set is +4 on his. It's just, I mean, honestly, my set has higher plus speed on than his Zabala does, and mine's on a Draco at 106. But the sorry, I keep reading chat and losing my
Oh,
my train of thought. But yeah, there was that guy on Reddit that had the 235 Bastet. which I can match if I ever get plus sixes, but I'll never get plus sixes. So
Good luck on that.
because I can still get 2 more speed on my fastest set if I get plus sixes.
Good luck. I'll see you in the next 30 years getting a +6.
Yep.
Imagine we're still doing WAP in 30 years and Zig is still saying he can't get a +6 on his fucking rune. My god. That's call for a heart attack.
Yeah. But even right now, I'm in Alunia because I got like a semi-decent despair rune that I need grinds for, so it's putting me back a little bit on
God damn it.
getting swift grinds.
See
Oh,
that?
I just got a Will Legend grind. What is
Oh,
it?
oh,
What's it gonna be?
speed.
Flat HP.
Yeah.
Pigs, no, mine's faster than pigs too. We were talking in 108 the other day, linking our sets. I think I'm +3 or 4 on pigs,
Pigs
and his
is,
isn't on Will either.
and his Vire runes too are insane. Pigs. If we're talking about
Yeah.
pigs, yeah.
Yeah,
He has
pigs,
it.
pigs.
I don't know how he's not like high guardian all the time with his sets. He's
Well, the thing is, right now, like Swift doesn't even really matter in Guardian.
well,
Like,
no, but I
how
mean,
much
just
faster
as
is my
Vio as
fastest
well.
Swift set over yours? And you're gonna outspeed me every time if you take Ethna.
Well, right now my fastest set is on Suckmet. Again, I went back to Suckmet. I'm a simp.
Yeah, so you're that outspeeds me right there.
On
You
your
win.
on your Draco, right? Let me see your
Yeah,
Draco.
exactly. It's like
Yeah.
you win.
It's autumn. It's such a stupid thing. This is another thing we want to talk about.
No,
All
it's
these
not Pellerman.
237 on Will.
No, it isn't.
Hey. Another thing we want to talk about. I don't know if how long have we been recording for? We're just passing an hour now. But like all these high base speed units, basically nullified any other Swift unit. And I don't even have Zabala to add to this repertoire. But between like you have Ginger, Ethna, Escher, Sekhmet, Zabala. And let's get fancier. You got Wunsa. You have who else? There's another one I'm forgetting. Kind of
Well-
Sonya, but not really. She doesn't really.
Well, did you say the LDs? Because
No,
you still
I said
have
Wunsa.
Yan
Yan Hong.
Hong.
Yeah, I can't
and
remember them
fucking-
all these high base speed units basically shat down. Mookwall kind of, but not. Okay, Mookwall's not in this discussion. He doesn't really. He's kind of a sack if he pulls anything off. Miles is.
Yeah, Ginger Brave.
I did say Ginger Brave, but also
Ren, yeah.
Ren.
Ganymede.
A stripping ability. It needs to strip to kind of be in this discussion. Because if it's not a high base speed with a strip, what are you doing drafting that unit? Because any of these will target.
Boosting with a Escher, right?
Boost, sorry, and well, he also strips and he boosts. Like he's got a 2-in-1.
You can't do them both, but
If he Vile procs,
you gotta choose one.
No, but what I'm getting, the flexibility is there. I'm not fucking saying
Leo, yep.
But let's say if I want to be a Swift more player again, Sekhmet kills me, Escher somewhat kills me, depends who he boosts for. Same with Zabala, depends who he boosts for, or if it just uses S3. Same with Ethna, if it just targets the more. My older Ethna build can shut down most Ryus with her S3, even if he blocks one of the hits. Ginger Brave can screw over a Swift more or a Swift Chiwu. Yan Hong can boost, Yan Hong can boost a unit to screw over it. It doesn't matter. All the high base speed units, and there's a multitude of them now, just crap on any other Swift unit viability.
Yeah.
And there's like we can't even figure out a way to even fix it because it's too late.
There's so many now. It's like
You can't nerf them all. Triton, yes, thank you. Triton is also in that discussion. Like there's so many, and I clicked the wrong thingy there. But it gives you a false sense of flexibility. Once again, we're back into this like a shit circle where there's all these Swift units are like the ones that you would normally want to rune are off the list. They're like last picks that you hope work out.
Yeah. And I don't think that's ever going to change because like most people are pretty like biased towards wanting to keep that. Like I mean, like I get it. It makes you feel powerful, you know, when you got like 119 base speed and they're just fucking.
No, it doesn't.
And Ethna does all her crazy whack shit on turn one. You feel like a bad like playing turn one is fun. You feel badass and like people like to have these units because like we were working on still are working on a WAP balance patch.
Yes.
And like taking opinions in our Discord group, it's like no one really wants Ethna nerfed. Like even the people who were saying like that they wanted Ethna on it, and then you ask them what change they would make, it's like that's not really a nerf. It's like you
No,
guys clearly don't truly want her nerfed if that's what you think needs to change.
this
Because it's
like if I were to input on Ethna nerf, this only stuns at 50% or more. If she does 50%, or sorry, if they're 50% or less HP, this
yeah.
30% at the beginning, get rid of it. If they're never,
Well,
if they're not changing additional damage, this can't stay as a thing. This is insane unit.
yeah, but like the problem is why like Obabo and Apps are both saying that they want that skill nerfed, and it's like,
No,
so
and
let me get this
also this,
straight,
also shatter,
huh?
also shatter. I want nerf too. I want a double
Well, I
nerf.
know, but what I'm saying is all they want is Shatter nerfed because I had on the balance patch that I was nerfing both skills,
Hmm.
and all they want is Shatter nerfed, and it's like, why if you're gonna nerf one skill off the Hell Ladies, why the fuck would you nerf Kraka and Rocky when they're not even that good? Like, you have two Ethna skills that are broken. Why would you touch the one that then nerfs
But
the other family members when you can just nerf the S3 and fix the Ethna?
but
I
what I
don't
would,
get it.
but with shatter, like I was say, if we nerf shatter back to how it was, what's her name? Kraka awakens into her S2. So this could easily be re-added to Kraka's S2, and then she's as she was, and that's a great unit. And then Rocky, she just sucks. I don't know. What does the Rocky awaken into again?
Rocky is phenomenal. It's just like, how the hell do you use a 104 anything in this game
Well,
anymore?
that's part of the issue where we're talking about all these high base speed units. It's like, it just,
Like, dude,
it's null and
Rocky.
void. Where's,
If this game wasn't built entirely around have 115 or higher base speed or have a passive, you could run like a Swift Rocky and just send out that S2, maybe get a defense break, and then just fucking clap something with S3, which is element neutral.
mm-hmm.
Like, but you can't do that. Everything has a passive. You're gonna fight Verd, he's gonna revenge you. You're gonna fight Ragdoll, he's gonna give his team 40 bar. Like, you're not even allowed to play with these units because they've been so heavily power crept out of the game.
I wonder if they did adjust. Sorry, excuse me. I would say all these new units that they released, and I'm not saying they're gonna do this, but like all the high base speed nonsense they've been releasing and buffing throughout the last few patches. I don't know how many of these would actually like maybe see the light of day. Well, the assassin family was still kind of ended up being full ass, unfortunately,
Yep.
except for a few of them. But then the ones before it, up to what was the point where like it really started going downhill?
It was
Not the
basically,
not the totemists, the weapon masters, not so much. Pretty much here,
yeah.
pretty much here.
From that point forward, there's really not a good unit.
Between
There's like
the
Zabala. Zabala's like the only unit in the mix
fire
after.
monkey, fire monkey's OP, but he's like a fair. Maybe I'm biased though saying because I love Fire Monkey because he's kind of like the unit I've been wanting that isn't an RNG fuckfest. Um,
I think Fire. The only reason why I think Fire Monkey's OP is because it's like, how do you ever buff another bruiser that compares to that? Like,
just
what does Chow eventually have to look like to even compete?
just gain
It,
speed.
yeah, exactly.
Pretty
Give him the
much,
same passive. Is that
basically,
it?
that's what it's come down to.
It's like that's where I feel like that's how you know a unit's OP when you think of like what are his like contemporaries and what would they have to get to even get onto his level, and like it's like impossible. Nothing's getting onto his level.
Like all these, the Patrick, fucking love it. I want him just because his name is Patrick. But the Ezio's and the what's his name? The other
Oh,
family,
Desert Warrior.
the other no,
Oh, Bayek.
the Bayeks, the Arabians. I love Ahmed, dude. This is my guy.
That family looks so sick,
Yeah,
dude.
and they actually have the base stats, but then like their skills are ass. But what I'm getting at is like they release these families, and then they can't do anything because everything else is insane with passives or base speed.
Yeah,
So, and then they're so cautious with these units, and they get buffed 30 years later to be as an equivalent,
semi okay.
semi
Yeah,
okay, not even equivalent, semi okay. and we're stuck on it. Like I don't even and like it's
Yeah.
the only
I mean,
thing that
from
can happen.
Shadowcasters forward, the only
Yeah.
good unit that has been released is Zabala. And what does she have? 115 base speed.
What a surprise! And
Like,
the LDs of the
yeah,
battles,
but that you can't really count those because it's like
and then they released Madden,
there's no
and
feasible way to ever get one.
Madden was an insane passive.
Passive, yep.
Fire Cookie recently got buffed. I think she's still very good. I just can't use it on my account.
Even if she
Uh,
was good, passive.
Passive though, yes, it's still at release. Maxi had a insane speed lead, and he just wasn't really
Well, yeah.
Dominic.
LDs are a different
Dominic,
story. But no.
Dominic,
You
passive.
went back one family too far. I said
Oh, you're right.
Shadowcasters
Sorry,
forward.
you're right. My bad. But yeah, and then this family, so only Zabala shines out of
And
it, and
and guess what?
now
Guess what? There's finally a good battle angel. What's her base speed? 119.
what a surprise!
Who would have thought?
What a thought. Uh,
Magically, they made a good battle angel. All they had to do was give her 119 base speed.
and up the passive. She got 2 in 1.
Yep.
She's got the double. Welcome
So
to
it's just
yeah.
dumb.
It's
It really is just dumb, and there's nothing they can do to fix it because they've only made the problem worse over the years, and now the hole is too deep. Like they dug way too deep.
niche against Leo.
Kind of. I mean,
Yeah, but
any fire unit with a nuke can be decent against Leo. You can do Ken, you
basically
can do Belinus, you can do
that's the joy.
Kali.
But
Do
we're
whatever the
like,
fuck you want.
I think, and this is what I want to say is that we need a nerf apocalypse. Like 20 lines of nerfs need to happen for this game to be refreshed. That's the true reloaded that this game needs is like 20 nerfs. There's 20 lines of nerfs. 3 of them regarding Siege, 17 of them regarding RTA, and then you can like play a whole new game again. All these units that came out and ones before it, all the units that like in the last 2 years have been on a balance patch that looked kind of cool, but you immediately packed it away because A, it lacks base speed, or B, it's not it doesn't contend with Oliver's speed lead and the rest of
Yep.
that comp, and it doesn't contend against passives. Like 20 lines of nerfs need to happen for this game to feel refreshed, and you see a bunch of new stuff going on. It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And maybe we're just ragging on it just because we've been playing this game for so long that we just want to see something new. Because we do love the mechanics of RTA and the insanity that can happen and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's been the exact same, dude. I've been actually. I know you know about this. I've been watching Pokemon matches that happen, and I used to remember when I used to play old Pokemon when it was only 1v1 before they had doubles. And it's the amount of combinations that people would do for things. And I've seen like cool ass shit that happens in 2v2 that people do, and it's changed though.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get in my YouTube shorts. I'm like watching these replays. I'm like, wow, this is like some nice
Well,
wild
you know
ass.
what's funny? Pokemon right now, in the format that we have right now, it only has 2 weeks left, and it's going to be completely different. But we're having the same issue where this generation they released like 10 Pokemon with super high base speeds that are just so strong compared to everything else. And it's like, it's completely centralized the game. Like, we have this Pokemon called Fluttermane that is on like 70% of teams right now. Like, we're having the same issue that Summoners War is having in Pokemon
Yeah,
right
but
now.
who's quicker to rectify the issue though? Pokemon or
Pokemon's is going to be fixed. It's just this format. It's been
yeah.
3 months
See,
long. As soon as this ends, it's going right back to normal because they're throwing in a whole bunch of like slower, bulkier Pokemon to fix it.
to yeah, and this is something like Comtos can easily do. It doesn't matter like if it something stays OP for 2 or 4 months, but they can't stay
Yeah, you
OP
can deal with
for
it. Yeah,
over that. That's the problem. Is that they don't rotate the style of gameplay often enough. It's a it's still the same. I don't know how you guys don't even like. I'm not saying you guys specifically, but like in general, the community doesn't see that this game has been playing the exact same since more CP's release. There's just a
yep.
battle. More CP is still a thing until from 2019, or sorry, more like the beginning of 2020 until
2020. Yeah, when Street Fighter was allowed.
yeah, until now. We're looking at still more CP as a comp. Does that over 3 years later, this is still a thing? Does this not like bore you? Like, I stopped playing more CP on purpose because I was bored of it. Fucking big surprise! I start playing more CP again.
Yeah,
I'm
now
back
you
in.
want to win, so now
Now
you
I'm winning.
put it
Yeah, like
back.
I have to win if I want to play in SWC. And I hate that my condition that I got into SWC back in 2020 was more CP. And now I'm back in more CP 3 years later. Is this not boring? Is this
Yeah.
not like if all the mechanics, all the
But the
units, all
problem
the
is
combinations, we're
they're
back to
making it
more
worse.
CP?
Like
I
their balance
know.
patches are heading in the wrong direction. Like buffing a unit like Ethna only pushes you further towards the centralized like
That
Ethna
too
is
is
literally
buffing,
just
yeah.
this game's flutter main right now. She's so much faster than everything. She does so much damage compared to anything else. And it's like in her speed is just it's uncontestable. Like
That's what I mean. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
No, ACOG. I'm saying a nerf apocalypse. 20 nerfs, more CP, Oliver, some of the stupid toxic passives that have no business being in a game like this. A lot of base speed units. Like, there's no freshness in this game unless they do an insane nerf apocalypse and see what comes out of it, and then start rebuffing or re-nerfing even more. I don't care, but it's so
Nemi,
stale. Fuck me.
Nemi, I like the up and down part. I like when units randomly just get fucking yeeted out of the meta and everyone has to fucking scramble to fix it. That's fun to me.
Just buff
Boring
my.
to me is what are we on, like 18 months of Oliver being the most picked unit?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Like,
boring. I like the up and down.
I want to see some random ass unit become first pick for like 4 months, and then either
Yeah.
they nerf it or they release some unit, like not just one unit, but like a couple units that maybe
And
change it. I don't know what it
yeah,
is because you haven't
we
figured
had a
it out.
super brief we had a super brief period where that happened when Masha was just fucking dogging on everybody.
Yeah,
But she's she's just as much as part of the problem as everything else is. Crazy high base speed, super good passive. Like she, she's part of the problem. So it's like
have a speed awaken. We're trying to remove speed awakenings, not give more of get more
right.
115 ATB boosters. But like I do see the future of like because what Comtuous has with Sky Arena is super. It's fun. The concept and everything. It's been really fun. So what I see happening when this game implodes on itself, just like what Pokemon had. Well, it used to be called Shoddy. For some reason, I'm the only one from the early 2010s that remembers a game mode of Pokemon called Shoddy, and then it changed into what is it now? The PC version.
Showdown.
Showdown, but it used to be called Shoddy. I swear, I'm not living in a fucking bubble here. It used to be called Shoddy, and someone will make this for Sky Arena. I get if it's not in process, some nerd out there is working on it right now to make this game on like a PC thing where you just customize the runes, you customize the artifacts to your liking.
Yep.
They'll do a maximum stat line that you can have on a unit, and they'll have
Yep.
their own balance patches. I see that happening because this game is good and fun if it's like in
Yeah.
our control, in our own pocket. If Comtos finally decides to give us money for our own tournaments again, we're gonna have custom rules where like let's say 105
Yeah.
and above base speed units, they're gone. You can't play it in this tournament, and we'll be given an insane prize for you to re-rune to play such a tournament. Because fuck, there's so much
Yeah.
shit in
I mean,
the
the core gameplay of this game is phenomenal. It's why we still play it after
yes,
9 years. Like
yes,
this is in my opinion the best like core gameplay mobile game ever. But if they can't, they're just not they're not capitalizing on it. They're just letting like the game get stale when it's so easy to not let that happen when you have 1,000 units in the game. Like it should be effortless. You should look at the fucking usage stats, see Oliver, see Moore, see Shizuka, see Masha when she was dominating, etc., and be like, okay, game's getting stale. Fucking shake it up. Oliver, see you later, speed lead. Shizuka, fucking I don't know.
back
Shizuka's the hardest one to nerf,
back
but
no back to one
something.
turn. Just Shizuka back to one turn. Why is it double
Yeah,
buffing?
and just fucking shake it up, and just all
Like
of a sudden something else is the new king, and it's like, yeah, and that'll get boring too. So then you do another one, and you keep the like. It's their job to keep the video game fun. Like that's just how it is. Like that's their part in this partnership with their consumer is to their job is to keep it fun, and they're failing at that right now.
It is Roy's Eye exactly. Like, and that's they admitted like they did never admitted it themselves as far as I know. But most of these game successes are World of Warcraft was even an accident that it got so
Oh,
successful.
it's an accident. Yeah, it's
right?
100% an accident.
They don't realize that they actually outputted such a insane game with so many nuances and variety and depth and all that crap and all the farming. And like I said, eventually the runners of Skyrim will shit the bed. Somebody's going to make a PC version client, like how Swap is, like, not Swap, but like Swap is going to be a thing that people will maybe give a $5 a month thing to play some version of Sky Arena where you can have every unit accessible to you, every rune set, every rune combination up to a certain percent. Like, so let's say every unit can only have a maximum.
Wait, hold on. I just had a good idea though.
Shut up. What is it though?
Well, if it is Swap, like if it is that guy who does it, what if we still play the base game to farm, but then we upload our stuff through Swap, and then we're still using our runes, our monsters, but they balance patch the game. So we're still playing Summoner's War with our account, our progression, all that stuff that we like. But then in Swap's version of the game, Oliver doesn't have a speed lead.
Yeah, actually, why not?
Like, that'd be so cool. Reloaded. Yes, we reload our runes into Swap. That's what it is.
We figured it out.
That's the update. We solved it.
Update. We reloaded our accounts into a PC client like it should have been done 8 years ago.
Yes.
And now we get to just play on PC without any influence from comp to us.
Yes.
Oh my god. We figured it out.
Summoners War just becomes fucking farming simulator 2023, and we just get the runes to upload it and play elsewhere.
Forget the farming part. Just straight every unit gets a maximum of like 110 or 120 efficiency of stats that get to distribute, and that's it.
But I think the farming part is what makes the game special, because it's like that's your Carnal. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like it's not just a Carnal. That's your Carnal. It's your runes that you've re-apped, you've worked for.
Yes. To
get plus 183, etc., etc. Like that, I think that is the most special part about the game. So you never want to lose that. But
we're not saying that they don't care. They do care, but I think they care about or they're scared of people just straight up leaving the game if they nerf certain units. Because like I don't care. Let's say Bison. Everyone knows I'm a fucking Carnal nerd till the day I die. Let's say they nerf him to a point where he's just unplayable. I'll go fucking find another unit to play with, because it's been 3 years of me running Carnal. I actually think Carnal's the best first pick in the game still, but I can't play him right now because of other things. But let's say I live in that world where Carnal's my first pick. I have everything I ever wanted in this game, but they nerfed Carnal because I've proven that he's the best first pick in the game. He's insane. They nerfed him. I got to find out a new combination of units. I don't care that they killed my Carnal. The only thing that kept me playing this game for, let's say, was 8 years.
Yep.
Well, same with the Ragdoll owners, same with the Oliver guy. Well, it's not that it's 8 years, but whatever it is, whatever units still keep people playing, you can't just hang on to this one unit's balls for 8 years, dude. You gotta nerf it, get some kind of new playstyle going. If the player leaves, that's just him hanging on to Ragdoll, and just proves the point that Ragdoll was always a problem for most people. Or for keeping someone in the game. Like, they're scared to nerf a unit to get them out of it, or to change something in their style.
They've done everything they can to make it easier to summon these units anyways. Like, you get an endless fucking stream of scrolls. Like, so you build up this massive box of units over time, and like 5 of them are good. It's just, there's just something missing in this process where it's like, you get all these scrolls, you have all these events, you claim all these units, you build up this box, and then you're like, alright, time to build my RTA team. Yeah. Trim off 90% of the Nat 5s that I have, and within the 10% that I have left that are actually viable, I have to build my comp within that little ecosystem. Like that's the part that sucks. Like that's where they're falling short. Like everything else, it's like getting units phenomenal compared to what it used to be.
Hmm.
Like
Even getting LDs at this point is
yeah,
phenomenal compared to what it used to be, right?
yeah, playing RTA, it's so much easier. You've got the rune box. You can build you know you've got a duplicate of all your runes. You can build whatever the fuck you want. Like try anything, move everything. It's all free.
Yeah.
Like there's just that one part in the middle where it's like 90% of these units that you built up are complete fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So that's the part that they need to focus on. And the easiest way to do that, it's like you don't buff the 90% of the units in the game that suck. You nerf the 10% that are too strong. Like that's the easiest way. Like you're not going to do 900 buffs as opposed to 100 nerfs. Like that's you obviously just do the 100 nerfs.
I would do the
So
100 nerfs at this point to keep anything fresh. Oh,
yeah,
the 2A's viability will go up again. Some of them. I
yeah.
don't know who. I can't even list you right now. I'm not saying that there's
Like
so many units that are just not usable based on the existing meta, and the meta has been relevant for 4 or 5 years. Well, 4 years. That
like how did we get here that Vigor is not a good unit?
the most insane base stats.
He has the best base stats in Summoner's War. Every single one of his 3 skills is good, and he's irrelevant. He's been power crept into irrelevance. How?
Because I'm
How
passive, I
the
guess.
fuck?
I don't even know. That's uh, and like a reminder, like you guys, we're saying this as like I don't know, Ziggy, are you back in G3 yet? So I can say you're a Guardian G3 player.
Wouldn't I have to play to do that? No, I'm ranked
Oh no. Well,
579, baby.
Ziggy is
Hey, for cleave,
yeah. I was gonna say.
I might be the highest cleaver up there, so
Oh,
I'll take it.
what a
Uh,
brag, what a flex.
Let me see where Rhino is
Uh,
before I make that
Oh,
claim.
you should remind me. I was gonna check on Scribbles. I think it's.
Okay, nope, I'm the second highest cleaver up there. Okay.
Oh my god, you're dog shit. I'm replacing you for fucking Rhino right now. Where's Rhino? At Rhino right now. I only need the best cleaver in WoW.
Alice hasn't been cleaving. But he might be higher, but he hasn't been
Well,
cleaving.
Rhino? He's not?
No. He said house.
Oh,
Finito said
House.
house.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see. Needs to be good in RTA. Usually what's good in RTA sucks everywhere else.
This
But
guy's cleaving, but I passed him.
Necros, what we're saying is though, we're not saying everything has to be good, but more than 10% should be good in RTA. And there's a lot of units that are being slept on. They're not slept on. They're slept on purpose because you can't use it with everything else. Power creeping it to oblivion between more CP and Oliver. And it's not that I can't deal with it. I'm a G3. Of course I can fucking deal with it. But I've been dealing with it for over 3
Yeah,
years.
seriously.
It's the same picks.
Yeah, you can deal with pain in your
This
back, but if you have pain in your back for 3 years, you should probably go see a fucking doctor.
yes. Oh, I don't know. I'm confused by that fucking analogy.
What? It's the same thing.
It's
It's like you can deal with it. Yeah,
this
like you
isn't
can
the
live,
the
you can
point.
survive, you can live your life, but
Yes.
you don't. It's not fun. You should
The
probably-
point is not counters. The point is not like, can I play it? No. Can I counter it? No. It's not the point. This is not the point. The point is it's been over 3 years. Imagine I was playing Machamp back in 2010 as my first pick in Pokemon with a Focus Sash, and then 10 years later, my first pick is still Machamp with a Focus Sash as my opener in every Pokemon game I
Yeah,
ever played.
yeah. You
It's
would have quit
no,
years ago.
dude, no. Enough. I don't want to play
Yeah.
that shit. And Pokemon, they've done so many different changes. Like I haven't played Pokemon in a long time because of Summoner's War.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
this
Pokemon's
is
on this
the
thing now.
point.
Every 2 months, we get a format shift, and it's like you're playing a new game every 2 months. It's a you've got a new video game. It's phenomenal, and like this particular set of 2 months has sucked because this Pokemon Flutter Mane has just fucking ruined everything.
That
But
too in MES. But
in 3 weeks,
see, that's what it doesn't
it's
matter though. It
total
doesn't
shift.
matter if there's between a 2 to 4 month period, we have some insane thing happen, and everyone's scrambling to figure out some way to fight it. It's cool. Even when Oliver first came out, I had zero issues with it. Then all of a sudden, it became an issue. And then it's still a year and a half later. It's still a conversation point. Boring, dude. Boring.
Yeah,
Boring.
and I
Fuck,
don't know how
dude.
you feel about this too, but like the person who said, let me see if I can find it. Like, not every unit needs to be good on RTA.
That's what I was
I,
Zekros. That's what I was just talking about.
but I think Nat fives, like that should be their goal for Nat fives is RTA. Like they've spent so much time coming out with 2As that fix farming, 2As that Nat fours that help in siege, Nat fours that help in arena. Like you can do every single other piece of content in this game without a single Nat 5. RTA is where Nat 5s are truly required. Like,
Yeah.
you need Nat 5s in RTA. So I do think their focus when buffing or nerfing a Nat 5 specifically should be RTA first priority.
Or Siege. They could have Siege focused stuff too. Siege. And remember, we haven't even
But even
spoken
then,
about
it's like
Siege.
defense,
Siege is
right?
the
Like you
shit.
can
Like,
you
where's
can
Glory?
100% do your siege offense solely with Nat 4s. It's like not even a question.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Well, that's kind of the problem with Siege, and I don't want to talk about Siege because I'm not a Siege head at all, or neither are you.
But you've always been able to, like tractors and copper
Yeah,
bulldozers, like those have always been relevant siege
TLW
Guild
is
War
still a
cons.
thing, and like all they need to do is like, for example, they've noticed that Windy affected. How long has Windy been a thing for? Remember, I'm not a big
I don't
Siege
know.
boy, so I need chat to answer me here. How long Windy has been a thing for and affecting defenses because it's such a free offense win. And till today, they haven't removed it. I don't know who's telling them that Windy's an okay unit to affect your defenses, but Siege is super stale right now too. 2 years? That's insane. It's a 4 star. I just built 10 of them, and I get like it's not that I may use 10 of them. And like I said, I don't know how relevant. I guess I've been using TLW against my defenses for testing. If I can TLW my defense, then it's shit. But I still put it up anyway because there's no other options. Or since Covenant buff, I'm not sure. But Siege is in the same boat where it's super boring, right? Uh, and they just refuse to like nerf. They made Windy cool. Windy has been a thing for 4 months. Everyone said, "Wow, this guy's affecting all of our defenses. Let's remove Windy."
Yeah.
Siege is refreshed a little bit, and then it gets refreshed again 2 other patches down the road. They're refusing to do these things, and they're like, and I just feel like the only excuse they have is that they're scared that people stop playing because they're their 1 star unit, not specifically Windy in this example, but their star
Yeah,
unit
but
is
I
gone.
I think they're also just confused. Like I don't think like an ethna buff has any logic behind it other than they just don't really understand what needs to happen for RTA to be balanced.
Oh, Zigbear, okay.
Like
I was confused. But say, yeah, but maybe a bit of No, I think it's more fear. If you ask me, I think they're more
but it's like
scared.
how do you buff ethna? Like I just don't
No, well, that
they
is just
just there has to just be like a lack of just kind of understanding of like what kind of centralizes an RTA format. Like if they knew the consequences of buffing an ethna, you would think they wouldn't do it, but here we are. I mean, same way they buffed more, yeah, and then they buffed him so that Ken and Talisman could get some love, and then they re-nerfed it.
yeah, that's just poor design. I don't know. I'm fucking bored of talking this. Not bored of it, but like it's so repetitive. It's like and like chat. Like I'm telling you, like me and not it's not just me. Multiple G3 players that you watch agree with this, and like it doesn't matter if we can stay in G3. We're staying with G3 with the same garbage most of the time, except like Obabo, who he'll first pick whatever he wants and gets away with it, and that's
Yeah,
fine. But Obaba has also a few other LDs that help him place a certain
dude,
star.
it makes me so mad watching. He'll be like first picking ethna. That everyone who's in his rank is watching him. They look at the runes, they see it +225. They can't outspeed. What do? They go turn one, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why
They're
can't I? Like, I don't understand. Like, the man first picked a fucking 345 speed Etna, and then the other person who knows its speed and is in his chat is like, yeah, I guess I'll speed contest. Just fucking annihilates him. Oh
So
my god.
Obama's getting fed. Where's Obama? I know he's in here somewhere. Let me see. Make me
It blows my mind. I'm like,
Obama
dude,
join.
I want to live that life. I want to
Tell
play
me your secret of getting fed.
that meta. But
There's
no, I mean
messages.
it's crazy. I don't know how it's gonna change, but
Reflips. There's a game called Summoners War Chronicles where they have these thing called Restoration Stones, which let you suck everything out of your unit and reuse it on a different unit, which is something we have spoken about, not today, but we spoke about this in December with Seishi's, or I think that was January. So in the Come to Us game, they have a thing with a Summoners War IP where you can use this thing to take out every stat or any investment you ever put into that unit, all your Devilmon are back, all your what else? I guess that's really it. Oh no, and the Rainbowmon, the experience, it goes
yeah.
back to a base unawakened unit. And you can shove that into another unit. Something like that needs to be implemented in Skyrim. I don't see how that kills the game at all. Like when Skyrim first came out, it was way ahead of its time, right? And now it's become archaic with like in comparisons to E7 or with now I guess Star. I haven't played Honkai Star Rail. I know nothing about it,
Yeah.
but I imagine they have things that are way better for the casual mobile
Yep.
gamer than Skyrim has. Oh, they need to get up with the times, and people will invest. I don't even want to spend a penny in Skyrim, dude. Not even for dailies. The only thing I'll buy is the Tia Way pack. Where is it? Oh, I forgot how to do this. This is the only thing I'll get for $54 a month. This is the only thing I put my money in. Nothing else. And actually, I lied. Potentially this, whatever, because I'm a sticker hoarder for whatever dumb reason, this. Whenever this comes out, I don't know where you get this from. If it requires money, I'm going to buy it.
But how did chat turn into CP is not broken? I don't
What?
understand. Like, in what
What?
you dude, this the game has centralized around Chung Peng for like 3 years now.
These.
Like, the game revolves around Chung Peng. Like, the viability of turn 2 units is directly correlated to how well they fight Chung Peng. Like, that is that the game is Chung Peng right now.
There's a direct
You
correlation on my account where I would not use Chung Pung because I didn't want to use him. I would use a Cigar or Charlotte or any other wind unit that's not Chung Pung. The moment I start using Chung Pung, I go way up in rank. There is
I'm
a
using Chung Peng with my cleave because the second somebody goes to respond to cleave with units that don't handle Chung Peng, they can't win. Like, the units you're allowed to use in this game, it directly correlated to how well they fare against Chung Peng. Like, that is the game right now.
remember this discussion is not about I can't handle Chung Pung. This
Yeah,
discussion is
exactly.
not I can't handle Oliver. We're
Everybody misses
G3s
that point.
and there's multiple other G3s who are saying the same thing. It's just the same thing for the last 3 years. Why are we still talking about Chung Pung? Why am I still reapping for Chung Pung? Why am I still thinking about my counters that are Chung Pung related? And let's use Chung Pung as an example. There's other units. That's the same shit.
Well, the game is revolved around Chung. Like, and like, you can't look at his win rate because the
Irrelevant.
win rate is being brought down because everybody's team is built to have a pivot to try to not lose to Chung Peng.
Yeah.
And even at that, he still manages like a 50% win rate. Like, that's insane. Everybody's box, half of the units in it are their answers to Chung Peng, and the unit is still like a 50% win rate. That is fucking ridiculous. It's the same thing with Douglas. everybody talks about Douglas's win rate being low. When you
Irrelevant.
take into account that every single fucking person in the game has built their comp in an attempt to not lose to Douglas, and he still wins like 45% of the matches he gets into, that is absurd. Like, you can't just look at the number percentage. You need context.
Daniel, where are you? Oh, Rosie's even climbing. I never knew. I got sidetracked by Daniel. Daniel, where are you? You're not even push for 2150. 5 ads? Just sub. What do you mean? I should probably reduce my ads again. Was I the stats of what you're saying? Like the stats of a unit's win rate is irrelevant when it's picked an insane amount of times because it'll always be a minimum of 50-50. If it's
Yeah, I mean, you need context for stuff like that. It's like it's easy. Do you want to know why it's so easy for Charlotte to get 55% win rate? It's because she's only being picked against teams that can't handle her.
Yeah.
And she's like a pretty good unit. So she wins 55. But like, if you just gave Charlotte Shizuka's pick rate, she's not going to have 55% win rate. There's no fucking shot.
You're not even close.
Like, you can't just look at, you need the context. Like,
and then what position is Charlotte being picked? I guarantee you it's not
always fourth or fifth.
Exactly.
There's no other option. Like, it's fourth or fifth. It's against a team that has no answer for her. And so she gets in and she beats the shit out of people.
And that's like for any other unit that's above a 50% win rate. Most of them, except for, I think, well, I don't know. I haven't looked at the site for a while.
Shizuka's is really high for a high pick rate, but she's just the best unit in the game. So.
Yeah, and that's
how it goes.
Those numbers are irrelevant. It doesn't. If a last pick unit will either be banned, which has already served its purpose, or it gets left in because it's such a high chance of a win rate last pick that deals with the 5 or 4 units that are being left in, that it's going to have an insane win rate if it gets left in or it gets banned and whatever the comp. It's the same formula. It's irrelevant who that last. That's why ISIS even has a high win rate as well from last time I checked. Let me just open up this thing. Daniel, I was actually looking for you in top 100 to say you were going to 2150. What points are you at right now? SWRT, is that what it's called again? I already forgot. Yeah, there it is. It's numbers are stupid to look at, except for like the most picked units. If you talk about pick rate, then we can talk about pick rate. The win rate is irrelevant to me. How often is this unit?
Win rate matters, but you have to know what you're looking at. You can't just look at it and say 45, that's low number, that's bad unit. Like, you have to actually think a level deeper and be like, so wait a second. The Douglas is getting picked 5th. The person that they're fighting is letting it through. So the person who is fighting the Douglas that is then letting through the 5th picked Douglas, they're under the impression that they've built their team to be able to handle this thing. And then he still gets in there and wins 45 out of 100 games versus people who thought they could handle him. That's really, like, 45 is extremely high in that context of a unit that's being let through only by people who have attempted to build their team to be able to beat him. Like,
and that's that could be, for example, that could be the person who only has even just one wind unit, and the other ones are between a water HP type and all that crap. And they're like, you know what, Douglas is a non-issue for me. And theoretically, it is a non-issue.
Yeah, they'll have like a Masha or something, and they'll be like, okay, my Masha's got pretty fucking good attack, right?
Yeah.
But it ain't 3,300 or whatever, so if you all of a sudden start getting a couple unlucky glances, oh, Douglas killed your Masha, see ya. Like...
The base 66 win rate? Shit, he's been...
Holy...
Dude, am I actually looking at Oliver's pick rate at 58%?
Yep.
What? What? That's nuts.
In like it's because of the high base speed units, in my opinion. Because like I don't even think he's really good enough to warrant that, but like because he's 33,
I can't
and
believe
then
it.
you stack that on top of these units with 115 or higher base speed, and then you pivot, it's like that's so hard to beat because it's like, okay, so if I leave 33 lead and I ban his high base speed unit, then he gets 33 lead on all these super pivot like units that were picked specifically to beat me. So now I'm fucked, right? If I ban one of the units that was picked specifically to beat me, now I'm fighting 33 lead plus high base speed units, so I have no shot of going first. It's like it's so good.
There was nothing to adapt to from that last balance patch. Nothing changed.
I don't even. I honestly,
Hang it. Other than hang it.
if you asked me to name one line on the last balance patch, I wouldn't be able to
Well,
do
I
it. I don't
spoiled
even
one for you. Hang
remember.
again.
I've completely forgot it. I guess my Cassandras do more damage now. That's like the only thing I can even think of
How many
that
nerfs
was
has
on there.
Oliver gone through to still have a 58% pick rate? And its win rate is just below 50. Like, oh my god. And how would you, like, why you, when, like, I'm not specifying anybody, but like in general, why are people defending it? Like, it's Oliver's fine. Always, it's boring. Are you not bored? Are you,
Yeah,
like, I'm sure, okay, some of you who first pick Oliver and you're reaching ranks you may have never reached before in your lifetime. I understand you're some euphoric high right now for the last year, but if part of you being a player in this sort of game style of or style of game, whether it's a card game, whether it's uh, Summer's War, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Digimon, it doesn't matter. If the meta doesn't change and you can't adapt, that's just you being a shit player, incapable of having your own thought process of sorting a comp to play. Well, hit my mic. Of starting to play something new. If you are just defending Oliver because you've been first picking it ever since you've pulled it, whether it was a year ago or just last month, and you notice that your rank went from C3 to G2 or G1 to G3, it doesn't matter. It was it's time to pack it up, play something new. Well, soon they have to nerf him though, because obviously no one's going to do this on their own volition. Someone has to.
yeah,
That, Comtos has to do something about it, and you cannot turn around and complain about it. And applies to ragdoll players. This applies to everyone who first picks more, first picks Shizuka. No one's first picking Rakuni, if though mind you, people are. And the same with the Chung Pong players. I don't care when you pulled it. I don't care if you pulled it last week. I don't care if you pulled it 4 years ago. It's time for a change
yeah,
in all these units. And when come to us, if they ever wake up and they nerf these units, and you are incapable of thinking of a new comp, then just go fucking play with your wiener in the basement. I don't know what to tell you. It's time
yeah,
for a change. This is this
yeah,
is the point of this conversation is change.
yeah. And Contos shouldn't even like from a money perspective, they shouldn't even be thinking about it. Like you want a way to drive up sales? Make fucking Wind Cookie the new best wind unit. Guess what? Everybody fucking fed that bitch the second they pulled it. They gotta go fucking spend to get her back. Like,
Wait, you're
like
talking about scribbles?
you want money? Fucking you change the meta if you want money. Like if we're talking business perspective here, like make a new unit, a chase unit, right? Everybody just finished their 9-year event. They all took Zabala. Guess what? Zabala's awakening is changing. Go chase something else.
And don't
Get
say
your credit
Oliver
cards
was
out,
the chase.
boys.
Oliver was the chase unit a year ago. Sure. Now it's pack it up and throw it away or find something new. Like this, the point is refreshments in the game. I
Yeah,
reloaded. Fuck me.
yeah.
Reloaded. Reload my
And like
wallet.
my thing too, it's like
Reload the
I
pack.
never care about overpowered or underpowered. I just hate units that like centralize shit. Like I hate the fact that anytime someone picks 33 lead Ethna, I'm accepting the fact that I basically can't cleave them. Because you simply just can't. Their last three picks are gonna be pivots, and then the Ethna's gonna OHKO my talisman or my Shimate, and I just can't play. And it's like it's too centralizing. Like she's too strong and too fast to be allowed. Like I just hate when the game forces you to be like, They picked one singular regular element Nat 5 that is super easy to build, and now your whole comp is invalidated.
Yeah,
Like, because I did the math too. Like my Draco that
it is
is
Yada Boy. Yes.
my Draco that is 7 speed off of the absolute maximum speed you can get on a Swift unit is outsped by an Ethna that does not have a single quad speed equipped.
Faf Spirit. Imagine they buffed a 33 speed lead to have stripped defense break, and it's not even top 10.
And it's useless, yeah.
It's not even top. It's not. It's insane to say this. It's insane.
I don't
Look
even
what I
consider it
just
good.
listen to what I just said. A 33 speed lead, strip defense break
With a
is not
good
even
passive
top 10
too. A
with
great
like
passive.
with a great passive, insane base stats is not even top 10 picked right now because everything else is that much better.
It's silly. How do we even get here,
Do
dude?
you,
Like,
do you like not even 15, not even top 15. Where's Vanessa?
bro,
20?
dude,
It's
we're only
nuts.
2 years removed from Chiwu being the best unit in the game, and he's received like 5 buffs in that time and still is useless. Like, he went from the
We love
literal best unit in the game to receiving buffs, still useless.
nobody ever understood why Chi was still getting buffed. Same with Moore to try to contend with Oliver. Yet Oliver until today is number one by a long shot, dude. Long shot.
Yep.
Joe Gunn, rip Joe Gunn, dude.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do. I mean,
Like I say, a nerf apocalypse is what I was saying earlier. There needs to be a nerf apocalypse to refresh the game. Because fuck me, is it stale as
it
shit.
like some of their like biggest like RTA addicts and players and stuff are like stopping playing. Like,
Yeah.
look at Thompson's rank right now. Look at Rax.
No,
Like Rax is just like he's just
Thompson just
hanging out at
started.
the line. Like he's just gonna take G3 and what like you're talking about guys who have played tens of thousands of wings in their Summoners War careers, and right now they're all just like, eh.
Like imagine Thompson having the
Like
most insane LD, one of the most insane LD pools, and he's just like maybe he's just
has
busy. I
no
could message him
interest.
right now and find out if I wanted to and see like what's going on with him. If he's just, or he'll just tell me like it's just a boring meta. Imagine
Yeah,
finally reached a point where the guy has like an insane LD pool, and he has Oliver himself.
yeah.
But again, I don't know if this is the reason he has just very recently started pushing back into G3 because he wasn't playing from before, dude. He was
He
below me.
was. I fought him. He just started climbing, and it's
Yeah.
just to get like his skins or whatever.
And
Like he was
Thompson
in G2 like
loves
last
to
week.
play RTA, and he just started. Like, unless he was super busy IRL, which I don't think he's ever too busy to be playing like RTA. It's most likely he just didn't want to play RTA.
I
That's
mean,
just one
you got a
person,
guy
though.
like Rax in any given season. Rax, if he felt like it, could be top 10.
Oh yeah, Rax
And right now
literally
he's
is.
just hanging out on the line. He's just gonna take 3 skins and move on.
Rax is probably in chat. Rax, are you here?
Like when
Tell
you
us that
lose
something.
guys like that, that's when you know you're starting
I'm
to
gonna
like
expose you.
fuck shit
Really.
up. Like when
Oh,
someone
Rax is
who could
breaking.
pretty
Expose
easily
yourself.
compete for top 10 just feels like, nah, I'm good. That's when you're like, that's bad. That's a horrible sign.
Hmm.
Like people who are struggling, you could understand why they would not want to play. He could go 70% win rate and go to top 10 within this next week if he felt like it, and just doesn't feel like it. It's like that's bad for the game.
I love seeing Lavert up here. I
Yep.
love seeing Lavert up here.
Billy say, yeah.
Villy,
Billy
yeah.
quit. Say barely plays.
Say, yeah.
Like
Actually, yeah.
Say's one of the
Faint slowly started
okay.
playing it again.
Faint's back though,
Faint's back.
but like Say's somebody who played. He was probably like averaging like 1,500 to 2,000 wings a season. I feel like, and I feel like this season he's barely even touched it.
Oh, is that actually what happened, Faf? He actually pulled a Seimei? Did he always have Seimei?
I have no idea.
No. Is Reese in chat by any chance? Or Reese, whatever it's meant to be pronounced.
But what's his Chronicles still say? But it wouldn't have if this game was good. I mean, this is obviously his preferred game if it was good.
Like he
But
still
even
makes content.
Obabo, he's
Yeah,
just
where's
doing well
Obama?
because he always does well. But he's been losing interest in the game too. He streamed twice last week. It's just like
Bud has gone to Chronicles 2.
tough. I don't know. I don't know what the fix is, but yeah, Fame's actually been playing, which is cool. But even he's kind of like struggling. He's in like G2. I mean, he was like one of the best players ever.
What's the
But
special
he
league
still
now?
plays like it's like an old meta. Like he still uses Ciara and stuff. So it's funny to watch.
They still G2 with it, which
Yeah,
is I don't think he's planning for just G2.
special leagues 4 star.
Ah, fuck, it's fucking horrible, dude. It's even more boring. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start playing Diablo or something during special league. I don't want to fucking play special league.
I'm gonna try to get like. I mean, obviously, I already have G3s in special league, so I the only goal from there is legend.
Oh, there
but
you go. I guess now that you
but
have Tableau, you can actually,
exactly, I'm
yeah,
gonna go 30 wings a night and see what the fuck happens.
basically number one. Yes, they should if they do a 4-star pre-ban, that would be interesting. That would be
Yeah,
kind
that'd
of
be
cool.
cool.
Like it's new. It doesn't matter if it's only for 2. I hate people who complain about special league, like these new like when we finally had a no LD special league, and you guys are like not you. I'm not specifying anyone, but like in
We
general,
know that you're
people are
saying you in the
complaining.
general sense. We know.
Well, I feel like I'm like specifying someone in chat for some reason. I don't know why. I'm so targeting today. I feel like targeting people, but it's something new for 2 weeks, and people are complaining about it. Like, shut up,
I
dude.
know.
It's something
Shut the
new for
fuck up. It's
classic.
2 weeks and it doesn't matter. You don't even really get anything for the 2 weeks. You get RTA tokens.
Yeah, and like they could have made 4-star super interesting if they add like pre-ban with it too. Then yeah, like it's saying, like it is literally extra Tableau League. It has been for
Well, just wait, Talkie. I've been cooking, okay? I already have
yeah.
my
You're
special
cooking
league team
Tableau. That's all
ruined
you're fucking
in an
cooking, like everyone
optimizer.
else.
But
Unoriginal thought.
dude, I'm going Swift Mav for Mablo. Wait, what the hell
Using
was I gonna
Raccoon
call it?
again. What
Mavlo? Mablo? I don't remember.
Mablo?
But
But I don't know.
Tableau Mav is
Tableau
Magimire
Mav. You just
Tableau for
spoiled your
special
cook.
league.
You're a horrible chef. You lost your Michelin star on top of that. You're out.
What do you mean? I'm cooking. I'm not. I did not lose my Michelin star.
You lost it, dude. Gordon Ramsay spits in your face.
Mav is a beast.
No, we love Mav though. Imagine two-way
Okay,
Mav. Wouldn't be
oh, that'd be
impressive.
sick. Scuffed Jamire. It's scuffed, but it's
I
also
don't. I
kind of
think
good.
Jameyer is scuffed Mav, to be honest. I don't know, dude. But this has been going for just under 2 hours now, Zig. And
Yeah,
uh,
wouldn't call it there.
anything
I
else
got
you guys
errands
want
to
to talk
run.
about? Say, I'm gonna keep streaming though. I still have my own wings to do. I need to do my wings every day until the SWC dream is dead. No
Yeah,
playlist, so much. What?
we should have an exciting episode coming up once we actually get this major
We're
update.
doing the tier
That'll
list
probably be the
next
next
week.
episode. I don't know if.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, we should have a
Tier.
tier list
Yeah,
soon.
we'll do
Yeah.
the WAP. It's gonna be. We might as well just copy paste last season's. To be honest.
I was gonna say, what even fucking changed? I don't even know. I can't
Maybe
think of
you
a
know what? That's
single
what we'll
thing that's
do.
different from the previous
Next
season.
week we'll review our own tier list and see if anything actually changed out of it. Because I don't fucking think anything did.
I can't think of a single thing from last season to this that's
The
even
Via
remotely
runes.
different.
If we're talking about Via runes, I want 12% to go down to 0. 12% is not low enough. That's it.
True.
It's not low enough. If a turn 1 team, I'm finding a turn 1 team, and they full
And
bar push
despair
me,
should go down too as
despair
you
should
get
also go
despairs.
down. Maybe that's part of the reloaded. Who knows? Because that would be insane. Like, a very good addition to RTA if they do that as well. You should do a before, because we could, because I can't even spoil my own tier list right now. I don't remember anything on it. But I promise you, if I look at that tier list from last season, it'll be like the exact fucking same, dude.
Mm.
The exact same. Like maybe one unit moved up or down. Nyx has gone from maybe 60 or whatever. I don't remember our ranking system. He's gone even lower. I haven't used them once. Such a shame. I can't have fun with Nyx. I forgot I
I don't
even
know.
owned him. Fuck.
I want the tolerance Nyx back, and I want you to use it as a pivot versus Ethnas, who are all trying
Oh,
to who are all getting away with 17 fucking accuracy, just shredding
true.
teams.
Tolerance Nyx is coming back, baby. Where's
Yeah.
the classic Tolerance Despair Nyx? I miss, dude. Old Summoners War was actually fun. Old
You
Summoners
could
War,
you could
where
you could get away with whatever the fuck you want if you thought it out well
if you
enough.
thought it out and you had the runes, like it was actually defined by rune quality back in my days.
Like just think, there was a meta in which simultaneously we weren't really friends yet. I don't even know if I had talked to you at
No,
this point, but you were using a tolerance Nyx.
yeah.
I was using Tyrannus Vela Emesity, and ACOG was using Swift Vanessa Celia Tableau, and we were all booming in fucking like it was only 3 years ago, and now it's like every fucking account you click on's got the same 10 units ruined up, and that's
Holy.
just how it is. Like, come on, man. There was a time where simultaneously we were all doing well with
Our own
polar
comps,
opposite
our own
comps.
like defining like we all figured out something unique to play on our account, and then here we are fucking playing with our balls instead, basically. Not even
Yep,
with each other's balls because we're just passing around the same units. That's
yep.
that's the analogy I have for current
Literal
Skyrim.
balls, just fucking robos.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, there we go. But Robos and Dracos, except you're the only Draco one, but
Yeah,
it is what
but
it is.
it's a shame. It's a shame.
It is.
Those were the days,
The
and
potential,
now it's
the
just
potential is
the
still there
power creep.
when somebody makes some Sky Arena into what's it called again? The Pokemon thing right now?
Showdown.
Showdown.
Yep.
That's gonna
But
happen sooner or later. It might be happening next week for all we know. Somebody's working on it. No way they're not, because it's very easy to
I hope
copy
so.
Showdown, and you're gonna see the most fun shit happening. Like,
Yep.
well, custom balance matches. Whoever's gonna run it, they can do community like this game will be run by a community with voting maybe, and then they'll like nerf
Well,
this
that's
unit.
how Showdown does it. They ban units, or they ban Pokemon based on
Yeah,
votes.
I used to play BL, or is BL still a class?
Yeah, borderline.
Borderline, yeah. But it was like they're not sure where to rank it. Then there was OU, and then there was
Yep.
UU, and
UU and PU and
and I
NU
would
and
fight an
yeah.
OU using BL because I used my Empoleon cleaver. Oh baby, the Empoleon cleave. I'll never forget it. I should run it back see if it's still relevant.
It's just making me want to go play
But you told
Pokemon.
me
So that's
hidden
endless.
power is no longer a thing, right? They banned the skill
It's
hidden power.
it's they did, but now you terrastalize your Pokemon into a different type, and then when you use Terra Blast, that becomes the type of what you terrastalized into. So you can still kind of use hidden power,
It's a lot
but
more setup though.
it's more setup, and you can only one of your Pokemon per battle can Terra. So you kind of have to choose which one
Is it
is
still
gonna
OP?
have that.
Is it like
Huh?
is it actually like really used though? Is it that good to be actually all that setup is worth it?
You usually have one Pokemon that actually has Terra Blast on it, but every Pokemon has a Terra type that they can switch to.
Okay, interesting.
So sometimes you just use it defensively. So you don't always do it offensively to get hidden power ice basically to hit Landorus or something. Like you just a lot of people just use it defensively. But
Now you
see,
lost me.
Fluttermane and Force Standard Legendary. What next meta? No, you're not. Dude, then this upcoming fucking regulation for Pokemon is gonna be insane. Ursaluna is gonna take over the fucking game. I can't wait.
What about Empoleon?
He's not in the game yet.
God damn it. He's never in the game. My
I think
favorite
he's
thing.
in the game, but he won't be legal on. Like, I think you can transfer him to your cart from Legends Arceus,
Wait,
but
can I
you
use it
can't
on
use
ladder?
him. No, not yet. They
Whack.
do it in waves to keep it interesting.
What about Blastoise? Where's my Blastoise? I don't
I don't know. I
remember.
know Charizard's gonna be
I don't know.
legal.
It's fucking always Charizard's always legal. Fuck that unit.
Deal with Fluttermane stuff. No, I know. I haven't been playing right now, Dan, just because of Flutter, pretty much.
All right. Any final calls regarding Sky Arena? I'm still gonna be streaming, but I want to end the recording if there's no more Sky Arena discussion you guys want to have. Bueller.
All right, let's call it.
Let's call it.
Peace out,
Goodbye,
fellas.
everyone.
Thank you guys for watching.
This will be on YouTube like I guess, right away. Talk
Yep.
geek.
If you missed the beginning, you can
And a
check it
humble
out on
fuck
YouTube.
Oliver. Sure, we'll do a humble fuck Oliver in unison. Fuck off.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. Bye.